What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Excited to bring you some new news from the Chicago Bears front at Hallis Hall, as Ryan Poles, as we know, is never not working, and he continues to sign players to this roster to help improve on now key depth. No longer, I need to get this for this team in order for them to compete or get to the next level. We are set up from a starting perspective. We have Pro Bowlers, we have all pros, we have everyone everywhere, and this team is ready for longevity. And now we're focusing on the depth pieces, because depth pieces are so important in today's NFL. And Poles, after the waiver wire, brought in 14 guys that were on this roster during the preseason and decided to sign 2 more from elsewhere. I'm going to break down the new guys and what they bring to the table. And this is so important because depth is key, especially in today's NFL. Now, before I begin today's show, smash that like button on this video right now if you're happy with the jobs that Ryan Poles has done over the past 3 years to rebuild this Chicago Bears team, along with commenting the grade A through F of Ryan Poles' job in the comment section below. I'm giving him an A. He stripped this thing down to the absolute ground and has done a fantastic job building this team, not only to play now this year, but for years to come. And please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for the channel to help us get to 18,000 before week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. And if you're subscribed right now, you're in for our biggest giveaway yet, starting this upcoming Monday. You're automatically entered, so you might as well hit the subscribe button now. So the first guy that Ryan Poles brought in after the waiver wire was defensive tackle Sam Roberts, who is a very athletically gifted defensive tackle. And you might think, wow, why is he on the practice squad then? Because he really hasn't been given an opportunity, and someone sees something in it, whether that's Eric Washington or Ryan Poles. The 26-year-old 6'5", yes, 6'5", 300-pound defensive tackle. Imagine him and Javon Dexter next to each other. Was drafted in the 6th round at pick number 200 by the New England Patriots back in 2021 out of Northern Missouri University. He's only played for the Patriots, and he's mainly been a 3rd-string depth guy for them throughout his career. But as a practice squad player, and now that he is considered a veteran status for playing more than 3 years, he's making $21,300 a week as a practice squad defensive tackle. So must be nice. Throw me out there. I will be a tackle dummy for $21,000 a week. But he's been in the league for the last couple of years. He does have in-game experience. He has put up numbers during the preseason, but he just didn't get a lot of opportunity during the regular season. During regular season stats, only 7 tackles and 1 tackles for loss. But this past preseason, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, and 10 total tackles. So pretty big preseason for him. He started to really ramp up, but the Patriots didn't see him in the future anymore. Again, he was on his rookie contract. Easy to cut him too. Also, considering he was a 6th round pick, it cuts the Patriots nothing. But at scouting report, he is a very impressive defensive tackle. 7.03 RAS, very quick off the snap with just below a 5-second 40 time. Pretty fast for a defensive tackle, but also his big, fast, and lengthy frame helps him out. During his second to last year at Northern Missouri State University, this guy was an absolute monster. 50 total tackles, 6 sacks, 13 tackles for loss in 2019, his best overall season. And he flies off the snap. Great speed, uses his big frame and vision to his advantage, considering the fact that he is able to look over smaller offensive linemen, call out different plays. But also he spends a ton of time in the film room, according to scouts, learning the offense, being able to call out different packages and help the defensive line being able to find the ball carrier, not only with his vision, but also with knowing the play call. I like that they brought him in. We have a ton of defensive linemen on this roster, 10 total on the 53-man and already 3 on the practice squad. So another one at the moment. Why not? You're adding more depth to the trenches, which is obviously key. And I'm hoping that he doesn't get hurt. But if someone does get hurt, bring him up. You need a big guy on that defensive line that's athletic like that. We see the potential in him. Poles is pretty good at finding diamonds in the rough. And that's why I'm super excited about this signing, because I think that he can be a very solid depth piece. And again, it's always a good thing when you're talking about depth pieces versus starters this late in the season. means your team is solidified, and that's what the Chicago Bears team is. Before we get more into today's show, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Authentico Tequila, 100% organic tequila made in Guadalajara, Mexico, a Chicago-based company and family-owned, no additives, USDA organic, and super smooth, super clear, and literally, guys, the best tequila I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not just paid to say that. This stuff is crazy smooth. You don't even think it's tequila. It's got that nice little kick to it that you want. But man, good stuff overall, very well priced. And go to the link in the description now to find Authentico near you. Going into the next guy that we picked up from free agency after the waiver wire was wide receiver Samori Toure, who played for the Green Bay Packers last season. The 26-year-old 6'1", 195-pound wide receiver was a 7th-round pick at 285 by the Green Bay Packers. And I know I've had my differences of bringing in former Packers to this franchise, but trying to put that aside, he is a practice squad player, not nearly the impact of some other guys like Luke Getsy have had on this team. And also, who knows? I mean, Jonathan Owen seems to have turned, I was once a Packer, now I'm a Chicago Bear. He doesn't really seem to bring that energy. But anyway, definitely a practice squad guy. He will be making a little bit more than $15,000 per week while he is on the Chicago Bears practice squad. But again, throw me out there. I'll absolutely do it. But he has some decent stats over 2 seasons with the Packers. He was targeted 28 total times, 13 receptions for 160 yards, a 12.3 yard per catch average, 6 first downs, and 1 receiving touchdown. Total practice squad numbers, but guess what? His athleticism is super impressive. Runs a 4.44 40 time, really solid wide receiver, but also a gunner on special teams, and he is also a returner, which makes him also a little bit more versatile for this team. He was a solid wide receiver in college at Nebraska with a couple big touchdown seasons, and just good depth to have on the practice squad. We only had one wide receiver, that was Colin Johnson, on the practice squad before we brought him in. So overall, I like what the Chicago Bears did here. I think that they did a good job bringing everybody in. And overall, I think this team could be a little bit more dangerous than we think, especially from a depth perspective, because if someone gets hurt, we have the next man up, even down to the practice squad, which is a big deal. So bringing in these 2 guys leaves us with our final practice squad, starting with linebacker Micah Baskerville, offensive lineman Theo Benedict, tight end Stephen Carlson, defensive lineman Brian Cowart, offensive lineman Jake Curran, wide receiver Colin Johnson, defensive back Quindell Johnson, linebacker Carl Jones, defensive lineman Jameer Kurma, defensive lineman Deshaun Mallory, defensive back Travarius Moore, quarterback Austin Reed, defensive back Reedy Stewart, defensive back Ro Terrace. A lot of depth here on this team, which is super exciting. I like that we filled out our practice squad. I don't see anybody else coming in right now. Also, quickly, we did bring back Khari Blasingame, which is good. We terminated his contract, put him on IR, and then re-signed him. Just a weird situation to work around for the Chicago Bears, but good stuff there. And final comment that I want to make for you guys, we are having our watch party week 2 against the Houston Texans at Rizzo's Bar and Inn in Wrigleyville, sponsored by Freshly Organic Tequila Seltzers and Authentico Organic Tequila. This is going to be the biggest party of week 2 on Sunday Night Football. Doors open at 5 p.m. at Rizzo's. We'll have other content creators there. Tickets are in the description below. They are $20, and they get you your entry fee, 1 margarita, and a donation to a local Chicago charity. So make sure you go and get your ticket today. But overall, I'm excited about this team, and you guys should be too. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. But with that, thank you as always for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, bear down, baby.